The Jazz Guitar Weekly with free jazz guitar lessons every Monday, full of quick tips that you can put to work right away in your playing. Sign up today at jazzguitarguide.com/email. Okay, this week's chord of the week is a C major 7. And this is one that finds its way into a lot of beginner jazz guitar lessons, because it's very friendly on the fingers. And this is built with the root on the bottom, the ring finger on the 5th, middle finger playing the major 7th, pinky finger playing the major 3rd. That's our C major 7. So as far as what else we call it, if we get a little more technical about things, this is called a drop 2 chord or a block chord. Okay, with the root on the 5th string, if we know what note is there, we can play whatever major 7th chord we need. Okay, 5th fret, we have a D major 7. Right? 8th fret, we have an F major 7. 1st fret, we have a B flat major 7. Right? So moving this around the neck, it becomes whatever key you need as a good, solid go-to major 7th chord. Okay, putting this in a 2-5-1 progression, what we're going to do is stick with the theme of these drop 2 voicings or block chord voicings. Right, and I'm going to play D minor 7 with the root on top. And this is built with the 7th, flat 3rd, 5th, and root. Okay, and then we're going to move up to a G7, which is built 5th, root, 3rd, 7th, and then back down to our C major 7, root, 5th, 7th, 3rd. Right? So what's happening here, from a technical standpoint, is you're moving the entire finger pattern up 2 frets and then stretching your pinky out 1 more. That makes it a very easy way to get from D minor to G7, right? And in this case, because we're doing that, every voice, except for the top one, is moving up by a whole step. The top one is moving up by a minor 3rd. So by the technical theory book rules of voice leading, that's maybe not ideal to be moving so much in parallel, but it's still very close. It sounds nice. And when we resolve down to the C major 7, that kind of takes care of it. I like to be able to try to voice lead my 2-5-1 progressions either up or down, depending on which way I need to go or want to go for the sake of the melody on top. Okay, so let's take a look at a little bit of a melodic material to play over the C major 7. So we can start with just the C major scale, and I'm not going to use a full position here. I'm going to play an octave, adding the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th on top, which will help catch us some of that D minor in the 2-5-1. And the way I'm going to play this is with our alternate picking, where I'm using a sweep wherever possible, right? So whenever I can do 2 downstrokes in a row, I'm going to. And I use that little bit around the bottom just to fill out the measure and to give us a little sense of melody at the end. It also sets it up for a very nice loop. so that's going to give us some nice stuff to play with there. Okay, now putting this into a 2/5 line. Okay, what we have is walking up the D minor 7 and back down. This note out of the key is just a half-step approach to the third of G7. Right? So we can think of this as simply a half-step approach, or we could think of it as setting up a surround. That's a half step above the note I'm going to, half step below the note I'm going to. That's the note I'm targeting for the first note of the measure. Right? I tend to think in a little bit simpler terms, so I like to use just half step below. And then we have a little bit of bebop scale here. Root, major 7, flat 7, 9, continuing. Right? And then we land on that 7 for the C major. Okay, and then we hit up to the 9, back to the 7. Now we get our root, 3rd, 5th, 7th. Now we get our arpeggio payoff there. And a little bit of melody around the 5. Right? This is kind of a fun little line to play with, a couple of elements, including some chromaticism in there to help give us a little more of that bebop feel. All right, have fun with this, and we'll catch you next time.